Hello and welcome to Ailtv. I am so excited tonight, or this evening I must say. I have got two distinguished guests here in our virtual studio. Due to COVID-19, of course, we are practicing social distancing. And I can see there is no change. I think we will go on practicing social distancing. Tonight we are talking about unions, but this is very special. Normally you hear of Unite, RMT, and many others. And these unions, you know what they do, but I'm not sure whether these unions do have African members. This is one thing I have maybe to look into. Now, the two guests that I'm talking about, I'm sure both of them hail from Kenya. They have decided to form a union that will fight for African workers here in the UK. Now, without much ado, I just want to introduce to you the two guests that I'm talking about. I have got Reverend Benson Kimaru, who is the General Secretary of the African Workers Union. And then I have Sally Nyinza, who is the Secretary. And it is actually very exciting to see that we have got women in this organization, because normally what happens, you will see men all over the place. So in time to come, because this is their very first interview that they are doing with me here at Ailtv, and I am very, 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 very excited. My name is Joseph Otieno Adamson. Many people call me JJ, or a man called Jay. Now, let me start here with Reverend Ben, to tell us what is exactly the AWU. Ben, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, JJ, and I'm so happy to be here in your TV. And yes, my name is the Reverend Benson Kimaru. I'm the Secretary General of the African Workers Union that we founded back in April this year. I would also like to add, although today we represent the organization, the two of us from Kenya, but our executive committee is having 5 distinguished guys, and 3 are ladies and 2 are gentlemen, and 2 of the executive members are, one is from Ghana and the other one is from Burundi. And in our membership, we have got different people from different organizations. The lawyer who is helping us is from Nigeria. Therefore, we came together, and this is I think was propelled by the death of George Floyd that took place in America, and then something that actually have changed the history of the world. And we are very proud to think about that. And then we came to see the Black Lives Matters, which touched us very much. And therefore, then when the death of one of us in Leeds took place, and we were trying to organize ourselves, we were coming together, we thought, why don't we actually found an African Workers Union? Because we also came to understand many African workers in various places in the UK suffer individually. So we thought if we brought them together, we think together, we can be able to fight together with Ubuntu spirit of working together, pulling together, and helping one another. So we started this African Workers Union in April, and the executive, when we were elected, we did not know that we were selected people of experience, people educated to the graduate level, and one of us actually is a PhD researcher. So we are good models for the role models for the young people, Africans in the UK, and we hope surely, JJ, we are making history for the first African generation in the UK and for posterity. So there we are. Thank you very much.
So, Sally Nyinza, am I pronouncing your name properly?
Oh, yes, absolutely right, yes.
Good. You know what is really interesting is that Ben is mentioning people from Ghana, people from Burundi, people from. This is really like a kind of a Pan-African movement. Okay, I don't want to go there, but normally, when you hear organizations like these ones, if say for example, if the idea came from Kenya, everything will be Kenya, or Sierra Leone, or whatever. But you guys, you seem to have a difference. So, Sally Nyinza, how did you come to be passionate about fighting for people's rights?
Well, I personally like working in a fair environment, and in our organizations where we work now, you find that people are not being represented fairly. Or if you take cases to the unions that are representing those people, you hear people complaining that my case was not fought for fairly. Mainly it's because the organizations don't understand us Africans. We are not well understood as well, and you find the people representing the Africans are not Africans themselves, so they've never been around Africans for a while. Being passionate is I want to see fairness. I want to see people working together. I want to see people moving together, not fighting against each other. So I'm quite passionate about that, and I'm passionate to see people happy, not depressed because of issues going around at work. So that's why I myself became passionate to assist other people to fight for their rights.
So,
thank you.
Yes, now that is one thing, but you know, unions are quite powerful entities here. But you are a very young organization. Is this organization, the African Workers Union, is it still going through structuring, or you have already got the structure? You have got the constitution of your union already in place? Ben.
Hi there. Yes, JJ, we having had started in April this year, we knew one of the things to do is to do an election. So we did it through Zoom, and then number two is we wanted to know what other things to do. So we have submitted certification officers application. We have also gotten our constitution. We have gotten friends. We have a big group now of more than 120 people, and in other social media we have got more than 200 people following. So we are going slowly by slowly. But I know that there are so many things that we need to put into place. We have divided amongst ourselves, among the 5 executive team. We have said that we shall, each of us will approach the NHS trust around and the local councils around, just to get a rapport with them to make sure that we are able to know how we can best work with them as we continue fighting for our people who are working. We have also noted, JJ, that many people fight themselves whenever they have a problem on their own. But now we want to join them and fight for them and fight with them, so that the complaints that we have been having, that my case have not been done fairly, or I am suffering here and there. As we talk with you now, there is about 4 or so people who have heard about us, who have read our website and want to seek our help. And it is true that we shall be able to help them better than anybody else, because we know their religion, we know their culture, we know their background, and we know the culture shock that they have faced in here. And those that are coming recently or the other day, we want to create a safe haven, safe landing for them. We want to network them. We want to signpost them so that they feel comfortable amongst us. Thank you very much there.
Right. So now, you know we are in very, 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 very bad times. Why did you decide to start an organization when we are in this COVID-19 era? Or did you see an opportunity there for things to happen? Sally.
In Swahili. Oh, sorry. Okay. Go on, Sally.
yeah, you can also jump in later.
Yeah. I'll put you later. Yeah.
Okay, go on, Sally.
Well, what I can say is, looking at the situation around us, you've had during the COVID-19 that we are facing problems. We are the ones who are being affected more. And why is that? Why are we being affected more? And when you look at organizations, when you go to those places, you find people are not being given the personal protective equipment that they're supposed to be using. And you find most people who are going into those areas to work are Black African ethnic minority people. And this really should not be the case. It should be proportional. It should be anybody going. They shouldn't be in a position in their personal protective equipment. So we saw that all these inequalities need to be addressed, and having a union for Africans, and we understand that yes, we are the ones who are being affected more. We are being put in those places to work without the adequate protection. Then we need a union to fight for that. Yet, as I said earlier, you will hear people saying they go to their unions, but they are not represented properly. We understand the people who we are fighting for, because we are Africans ourselves. And in that case, yes, it was an opportunity, we must say, but a good time for us to say it is our time to be heard. So that's why this union was actually formed around this time, because it was a good time, good opportunity for our voices to be heard.
Fantastic. So, now, Sally, I believe you are a nurse, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So, you know where you are working. Do you hear all these complaints from African workers who are in the NHS or anywhere else, or any other department?
Yes, you do hear those complaints. You hear them telling you, today I've gone to work, or I've reported to work and I've been transferred to a unit that is COVID-19 with patients full of COVID-19, and you hear them saying that where I went has got no personal protective equipment. Not necessarily where I work, but it is from other people who are working in other organizations who will say, today I went to work and there was no personal protective equipment, or they have gone to work and the equipment was hidden and we couldn't find it. And you feel that this should not be happening in this time. It should not be happening in Britain. And why does it happen when it is time for an African or a Black ethnic minority person to go to work and take the shift, that there is no personal protective
Okay. So,
equipment?
yeah, let me, you have got so many followers, maybe these could be your members.
So they need to understand.
The people who are watching with you guys or watching you or listening to you, there is Lydia Tet, then there is Shadrach Mwangi, Mary Winnie, Lydia Tet again, Louise MG, Akina and Adibo. I need to put on my glasses because the list is growing. Yeah, yes.
Oh, those are here. Yes.
Then there is Eunice Squala, Akina, Andibo, and then Maembo Mombele. I don't know who's this one. This, yes. Then Jane Karango. Then MS Mwangi Jr. is watching. Now, you see, you've got many followers, and I can see lots of likes here. Because what you are doing is actually fantastic. But Ben, let me ask you one thing. You see,
Yes.
if this organization, say for example, I know it is going to get popular, and you have actually labeled it as an African Workers Union. Suppose a guy from Bangladeshi or a guy from India wanted your help. Could you actually also help them?
Absolutely, we shall do that. Although the want is African, that is only abroad. But anybody from wherever it may be, whether it is Europe, whether it is America, whether it is any ethnic minority, we shall be ready to help them specifically with their problem. And therefore, being an African organization, it is an African organization that is ready to help any kind of person, wherever they are, wherever they come from. As long as they have a problem, let them come, and we are ready to work for them.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna go for a short break. Yes, you are watching Ailtv. My name is Joseph Otieno Adamson, but many people call me JJ. Even most of you watching know me as JJ. You know, I'm talking to Reverend Benson, the General Secretary of African Workers Union, and Sally Nyinza, the Secretary. You know what they have just done? And I can see this movement is going to take off, because what they have just done, maybe they have actually thought it for a long time. We have been actually struggling, as I believe Sally mentioned in the beginning, that many people, you see, we Africans, we express ourselves in so many different ways. So in that case, not so many people understand our problems entirely. So I'm going back again to Ben, Reverend Ben, and Sally.
Yeah.
So now, you see, oh, what I didn't actually mention, for those of you who are watching, I want you to send questions to these guys, because the questions shouldn't be only come from me. So viewers, please, if you have got these questions, fire them. Right, now, back to the program. You see, say for example now, as COVID-19 is actually taking, you know, every day they are changing stuff, they are telling us so many different things. But as your organization is still young, is not established yet, so if somebody came up with the problem, what will you do? Ben.
And thank you very much indeed. If somebody came with a problem, by the way, JJ, some have already come, and we have started negotiating with them, and we shall start negotiating also with their employers, because we are ready. Since we started, we gotten ready to go. So we have got, as I told you before, we have got the lawyer who will advise us on how to go about these issues. And I know that we have got capacity to do what we need to do for people who may come close to us. And as I said, we have now membership. And as you say, which I think is very prophetic, that we are taking off and we are going places and we are going to make a lot of exploits. So there we are, JJ. I don't know whether Sally may want to add a point.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
Sally, yes.
Yes, what I would say is that, yes, we are ready to represent people if they come to us with their problems. And how we would go about this is, obviously we have to listen to their problem. But what I would also want to say, if it is an issue that is already being dealt with by another organization, that is something that unfortunately we may not be able to go into, because if that is the case, we have to work in collaboration with that organization. But yes, we are ready to represent people if they do come in contact with us. And I would say we are ready.
Good. Right. Okay. Here is the question from the viewers. One viewer is saying, this is Akina A. Andibo. The question is the union aware of securing recognition agreements with employers in order to secure positions within the staff side? It went on, but this is just, let us just limit it to that. So who wants to answer this one?
I'll answer.
Okay.
Akina.
All right.
Thank you, Akina, for your question. Yes, we are aware of that, and what we are doing at the moment, we are approaching organizations to secure this recognition so that we are able to represent people in the right way. There is no way we can represent people without approaching the organizations themselves to be aware of what is happening. I hope I've answered her question.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Ben, do you want to add on to that?
Yes, I think it's good to let Akina know that we have also submitted an application to the certification officer of the trade union organizations, and we have paid the fee that is required to be done. I think the other thing she mentioned is about legality, and we are trying to take care of that. If it is the question of insurance, we have already approached one insurer to make sure that the organization is insured, and the people coming in will know that. So there we are, and I think that is good. So far, so good. Thank you.
Now, let me ask this question again. I know you guys you have touched on, but I want to know what kind of people or what kind of workers are you actually attracting? Because you have mentioned one PhD holder, you mentioned doctors, you mentioned all those people with big qualifications. But what kind of people are you actually attracting?
I think considering the kind of people we are attracting, we don't have any specification. We just talk about workers, African Workers Union. That can be a cleaner, that can be a consultant, or whoever they are. We are ready to make sure that they don't work for their rights on their own. We combine forces together and help them as much as we can. Thank you.
So, this is probably maybe another thing that I'm going to ask Sally to answer this. What is the method what is the method of you are using to mobilize people? To mobilize, to bring in your
Well,
members, yeah.
Well, of course, when you're starting something, you start from the people you know first, right? So, of course, we've spread the word around the people we know. We've spread the word on Facebook. We've spread the word on different platforms. And as you know, once you know one person, that person spreads the word. And what we've done is that, as you've seen, we are 5 executives at the moment. We all know different people. So we've literally mobilized to spread our word round. We've also recently been interviewed by a newspaper in Barnsley. So that is one way of advertising ourselves so that people know about us, and we share our contacts all the time so that people can contact us, can join the union, and we can be able to help and work together as one group.
So maybe now you have mentioned the newspaper. I've got a friend,
Yes.
I've got a very good friend of mine. He's got a newspaper called Informer East Africa. Have you heard of that?
Oh, wow, that would be great.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Informer East Africa is a
Yes.
newspaper. It's a newspaper actually started by Julius Imbaluto. He's also from
Right.
Kenya. He's a very good journalist. Maybe you need to know this guy because
Oh, yes.
his
That would be
paper
great.
actually, yeah, his paper is going places. So
Oh,
you
good,
should
good. Yes,
just
send
Google
us
it.
contact.
Yeah, Google it,
Yep.
or if you like, I will send you his number. You talk to him
Oh, thank you very
directly.
much.
Yes.
Yes.
Please do.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, are you actually okay? Your members, do you have a fee you charge them, or this is entirely free? Ben.
Oh yes, we have we have done a schedule for payments, and we are starting with the lowest possible. I think we shall be very competitive. Nobody, I think, will be able to beat us in as far as trade unions are concerned. I think we start with maybe 2.50 pounds to about 7 to 9 pounds to the highest paid person, and therefore
No,
we should have
repeat
the.
that because I don't understand what you said. 20 point whatever pounds. Why can't you say it straight?
I did say that the lowest earners, for example, 2,500 pounds, will be paying something to the tune of £2 per month.
Okay.
And the highest, that's right, and the highest who could be maybe 35,000 pounds per year, that can be charged about 7.50 pounds. But I'm only speaking this from the top of my head. But we have written them down clearly. So when the need comes, we shall be able to publish them for people to see as they join the trade union.
So, Ben, I'm going back. Were you selected because you are a reverend? You are a man of God, I believe.
Now, I just was in the crowd, and we were sharing, and I was nominated, and I was also asked to give a brief profile about myself, and that's how I got the votes, Mr. JJ.
Good. So let us just go for another short break again. I want to keep playing this so that. Yes, you have heard Ben, the secretary of African Workers Union, and of course Sally. They all know their stuff. They are not guessing. So far, they have answered all the questions that I have thrown at them. And you have to remember, these questions, I didn't write them down. Even me, I didn't know what questions I was going to ask them, because we are just spontaneously just having a chat. And that shows you that these guys know what they are doing and know where they are going. So let me go back. By the way, viewers, I just want to hear more questions. Please, if you have got questions, fire them. We still have another 20 minutes to go. So, guys, so now, you know, when you have got these visions of an organization, where do you want to see this organization? Probably, let me shorten the time, because normally people say in 3 years' time, 5 years' time. No, I want to know in 2 years' time, where do you want to see the African Workers Union? Sally.
I like that. Well, I would say I would want to see that we are representing our Africans, that we have set a mark out there within organizations, that we are known by the Africans working in different organizations. Because we are still new, we know that we have a long way to go. But in the next 2 years, I would like to see that we've actually started being known and being recognized in different organizations, as well as being known within different counties within the United Kingdom. Because we may find that, yes, we are from the north, most of us, but we want to be known down in south, we want to be known in Scotland, we want to be known in Wales. So it is spreading our wings far and wide so that we can be able to represent members from all corners of this country.
So, Ben, you know,
Yeah.
okay, you know, she has just mentioned that you are from the north. You guys don't,
Yes.
none of you live in London, do you?
We have
one
got
in London.
an executive member who lives in London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, where you yourself, where do you live?
I live between Leeds and Sheffield. That is still in the north. Particular to be specific, I live in a place called Barnsley, which is South Yorkshire.
Okay.
But of course, we have got membership. The chairman, unfortunately, he got his mom passed on, so that's why he could not be with us, because he's preparing to go to Burundi, and he lives in Newcastle in the north. So we have got a member from Leeds, and then Sally comes from Sheffield, and then there is a member who comes from London. So we are a bit spread, but I can assure you, JJ, that we are going to do a recruitment drive very seriously and very aggressively with assertiveness. And we think wherever we shall have 10 members, we can be able to open a branch. Therefore, we shall divide the UK into 3, for example, the southern, the Midlands, and the northern side. And then we go to Wales, we go to Scotland, and Northern Ireland, as long as we have people in the UK, because our base is in the UK to begin with.
Now, this question, probably it is not entirely something that you want to get involved in, but I really want to know, since you are representing African workers here in the UK, you know, we have heard so many stories, people dying, and sometimes those people are found in the houses by themselves, and nobody knows what happened. How will you, and by the way, that person could also be working for any department. He could be working for NHS. He could be working for London Transport. So when something like this happens, what is your organization prepared to do? Somebody dies, and probably doesn't really have relatives, and probably they don't even have insurance to actually to shift the body back home. Will your organization also be involved in this kind of thing? Or is it purely for fighting for the rights of workers in employment?
So is it Sally starting or is it me?
Anyone can
Go on,
answer.
Reverend.
Anyone can answer and you can add on.
Right. I think you have touched a very important issue here, JJ, and I have already actually been talking about it, that we should not hear of any person who happened to be sick or who happened to have died and nobody seems to know them. That is very, very bad. Our African Workers Union is going to establish an umbrella, a networking, to make sure that people know one another. Wherever you are, people know you. Don't wait until your body or you are sick in that ward and the people are sending pictures to asking who knows this person. To me, that is really very bad. And that is more, what do you call it, individualistic, which is not African. That is very foreign to African. African is community-based society. People know one another in the village, people who visit one another in the village, and therefore, if anything happens to a grown-up or to a child, it is known by everybody and very quickly. But here, the individualistic life and culture is so bad. And I would like to let all Africans and maybe ethnic minority groups, wherever they come from, that African Workers Union is ready to join hands and make sure that people are known wherever they are. That's why we want to go to every corner of the UK and make sure that we are represented there, so that now, JJ, no more injustice to our people individually, no more intimidation from wherever they are, no more people dying and are not known. We want to make sure that people have got groups, people are associating, people are in a community-based society like it is in Africa. That's one of the things that we want to teach our people and train them.
So,
I'll
okay.
add on that, Reverend.
Yes.
What I would say is, when we think about it, I was looking the way we operate back in our African communities. And you find when such a situation happens where people have died, and most organizations back home in Africa, they do assist the deceased family. And this is something that we lack here in this country, because one, we are not understood, nobody knows our culture, and this union is going to heighten that. We will assist people in ways of being able to repatriate that person or that body back home if they have to. We will mobilize funds if we have to. It is assisting that person or that family that has had that kind of a situation. And you see, African Workers Union is mainly to make us known as well. It's mainly to make us be understood by other.
Okay, we are having challenges with Sally's line. Maybe she will reconnect again. So let me ask this question, Ben. You know, as you're saying that you are going to find any African to involve them in within your organization. How are you going to do that? Are you going to start by creating a database?
Yes, we already have databases, of course, Facebook, word of mouth. Already, majority of Africans usually attend churches, so we have got links, and we have changed phones, because whenever somebody of African origin dies around, we all gather together to assist them. And during that time, we exchange views, we exchange numbers, emails, and what have you. And therefore, one of the ways of inviting people to come and join us is word of mouth. Of course, we have proposed to have handbills so that wherever you go, you have got a couple in your pockets and you distribute them wherever you meet somebody. And therefore, we will meet with the people in the street, in the travel area, and we shall be able to invite them. And we have got a website, of course, and we have got details of how to join. And I know Sally will be talking about that as we finish. So that is how we expect people to come to us and to join the African Workers Union.
Okay, it looks like we will have to, we've got only 5 minutes, so we'll have to continue with you because Sally's connection is actually dropped off. But I would really like to thank everybody who is watching. You are watching Ailtv, which stands for Africans in London TV. You know, if you have got anything at all you want to highlight, or if you want to, or if you have got an event that you want us to get involved in, or if you want to create an advert or anything, we are here to help each other. That's why I call this channel Africans in London TV. It's got nothing to do with me. So, continuing our conversation, Sally, as you know, that her connection is actually dropped off. We're going to round up. We've got 4 minutes. So within these 4 minutes, Reverend Ben, can you please tell the people who are watching and those who will be watching later the importance, again, because we have to insist. I know you have spoken about the importance of having the African Workers Union. Can you please repeat it again? We've got 3 minutes. Tell the viewers why people need to understand the importance of this organization.
Number one, African Workers Union is based on Ubuntu, and that is African spirit of being together. JJ, I personally have known that there are a number of people who suffer injustice, who suffer discrimination because of their color, because of their background, and so on and so forth. And we don't want anybody anymore to suffer alone or to be intimidated. So we came together. I think the forces that actually forced us to come together and to think of what we can do is one, the death of George Floyd in America has got a lot to teach us. And the Black Lives Matter movement have also touched us very much. And then one of us happened to pass away. And when we were thinking of how to raise funds to take care of his funeral, then the idea of forming ourselves together as a formidable organization came about. And we started taking our numbers and we called a Zoom meeting. And then we started brainstorming about this issue. And we had this election. And now we are going on JJ. So the level we are now, we are, of course, unstoppable. And we are a special and very unique movement. I think it could be the first one of its type in the UK. So we are going places and we are going to do exploits because people are ready, people are joining us. We have got this website, www.africansworkersunion.org.uk. And when you visit that website, you'll find our address, you'll find our phone that is linked or diverted to our our mobile phone that I normally keep. So you'll be served well. I think I have answered your question to that level now. I know our time is going.
Well, I am sure we will have you back. But all we need to do, we need to keep in
Yes.
check. We need to keep updated. We need to link together. You know, you can be on my website. I can be on yours, so that we have to make this known to a wider audience. So
Yes.
in that case, I must say thank you very much for agreeing to do this interview with me, and
Yes.
I'm sure I will see you again. So for now, I'm going to say thank you again to you and Sally. I know her connection just fell off. As you know, technology is always really antagonizing us. When
Yes.
we are cooking up something and we are really in the beat, you know, in the rhythm, it just
Yeah.
goes boom. So until then, I'm
Yes.
sure, even as I'm always saying, that
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yes. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes. Goodbye.